What's going on, guys? It's your boy Carson here, back with a brand new video, and in today's exciting video, we are going to polish and ceramic coat a car in one day. Let's get into it. Alrighty, and in today's video, we're going to be doing exactly that. It took me about 8 hours to do this entire job. That's with a one-step polish and of course ceramic coating. Now jumping straight into the video, we need to start with the prep step. Now I did make a dedicated video on how to wash your car before a ceramic coating. This video provides everything that you need to do before you ceramic coat. That process can also be used if you want to apply any wax or spray sealants to get the most longevity out of them. But make sure to check that video out in the top right hand corner if you haven't already. But to give you a quick rundown, we went ahead and used Armor Detail Supply Decon soap, foamed on the car, contact washed, clay barred, did an iron decon treatment, and that was it. But for a full in-depth guide, make sure to check the link in the description or in the top right hand corner. And jumping over into the car, this was a Volkswagen Passat, so say what you want about Volkswagen paint. The clear coat on it was pretty dang hard and had a bunch of really deep scratches. For this client specifically, they opted to do a one-step polish. And in my detailing business, I tell them, hey, it's gonna be about that 70 to 80% clarity mark. Of course, you wanna set the bar a little bit lower and achieve higher results. But I tell them most, if not all of those car wash swirls are gonna be gone, but unfortunately, some of those larger scratches will still remain. Overall, this vehicle wasn't too bad. There was a few larger scratches on it. They were really mainly concerned about the water spots. Now, the entire left side of this vehicle was super hammered with really bad water spots. Now, I'm not sure what happened, if maybe they parked by a sprinkler or something like that, but it had a ton of water spots. So that was my primary focus for them today. Again, in my detailing business, I do give them an option as far as protection goes. They opted to go with a simpler coating of a 2-year coating, and what better coating to do than Armor Detail Supply Phobic. Now, we'll get into the details a little bit later on that, but that is kind of the premise of everything. Alrighty, and starting off with the polishing, we're gonna start off with a few test spots. Now, I do like to try about 4 different compounds and kind of rotate through pads, just kind of seeing what will work and what will be the quickest way. Of course, your time is very valuable and your time is money, so you wanna make sure that you're very fast and efficient with providing a great result. Now again, the client is paying for a one-step polish, so we're gonna be doing a one-step. Alrighty, so we've got our tape lines all set up, and you can see we've got 4 different quadrants all ready to go. For the first polish, we went ahead and used Sonax Cut and Finish. Now, for all of these, we did roughly 6 passes or so on a speed of 4, just to make sure the polish was working and getting in there and kind of doing its job. And honestly, I was super impressed with what Sonax was doing with the cut and finish. It finished out great, and the cut was perfect for what this hood really needed. Next, we jumped over into Kosh Chemi's Fine Cut. This is very comparable to Sonax Cut and Finish, and again, doing that same 6 passes. A lot of cut there, a lot of gloss, but did a great job. Unfortunately, not as good as Sonax, but it did a great job nonetheless. Next, we went ahead and used P&S Detail Products Rehab, again, doing the same 6 passes, and that one did great as well. Big fan of that smell there. Of course, the watermelon is such a great smell. That one definitely is in the number 2 spot. It did better than the Fine Cut, but not as good as the Sonax. And finally, we went ahead and used kind of the heavy hitter, and that is Kosh Chemi's H901. Now I know Kosh Chemi does have H902, that's the new formulation of their H901, but of course I only had H901 on hand. The heavy cut did do a great job, but unfortunately Sonax still is the top of the leaderboard. I was very surprised by this. Typically heavy cut does do a really good job, but unfortunately it was no match to this Sonax Cut and Finish. Alrighty, and we've clearly found our winner for what we're going to use on the entire car. Now, my only gripe about this Sonax Cut and Finish that it is water-based and it is a little runny, so you have to be very careful, especially when you go ahead and spread it out. When I spread my polish out, I like to kind of spread it around the entire media and work it in. Now again, with this being water-based, it was kind of having some weird issues in some points, but I think that was all user-based, as well as I've had this polish for quite a while. We went ahead and finished out the entire test panel, and you can just see the results speak for themselves. For a one-step polish, this is really, really great. Again, we are really striving for that 80% clarity mark. We're not striving for 100%. And I'm super, super happy with the results there. Alrighty, and it is time to do the entire car. This is going to take you the longest out of the entire process. Of course, pads are gonna be different for everybody, but I found in my specific instance that the Buff and Shine Blueberry pad and this Rupes medium wool pad worked great for me. Now I'm utilizing two different machines here. I'm utilizing the 3-inch Adams Swirl Killer Mini machine, and honestly, I've had that machine for so long, but I love it so much. Does a phenomenal job, and I'll throw a link down in the description if you do want it. But I've used a ton of 3-inch machines and they're all relatively the same. Next, I'm using a 6-inch Rupes machine. This is an HLR Mark III, and I've had this machine since it almost came out. And honestly, I bought it when I was fairly new to detailing. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have gone with a 6-inch machine. I've kind of learned how to master the 6-inch machine, but it is quite cumbersome. If you are in the market for a machine or you're just kind of starting out, I would definitely drop down to a 5-inch machine. That is something I'm going to upgrade here in the future. Both of those machines are corded machines. I do prefer a corded machine, especially when I'm polishing for longer periods of time. I know the cord is kind of annoying, but I feel like you're getting a lot more power. That is just personal preference of mine. But as you can see here, we are powering through the entire car. Now, I really focused on the passenger side as that was the client's main concern. And in full transparency, that took me quite a long time. I did have to work on that side quite a bit longer than I probably should. That was their main concern, so we wanted to make sure that we took care of that first. Jumping to the front here, we went ahead and took care of the front bumper and of course the headlights. Now the headlights are gonna be very controversial for some people. I'm going very light on the headlights here, just a couple passes on those. Doing an inspection on them, found that there is slight micro marring on there. So I whipped out another pad there, utilizing the yellow foam pad from Rupes and their yellow polish. And I went ahead and two-stepped them just so there's no marring on the surface. Another point I do want to recommend is always make sure you're taking off license plates just so you can polish behind the license plates, and eventually when we do go to coat, you're coating behind the license plate. Alrighty, and now everything is all polished and looking good. What I went ahead and did is pulled the car out in the direct sunlight, well, really overcast, and did a quick spot check, utilizing my Harbor Freight color match light, just to make sure that there's no obvious bad spots that I missed. Of course, ideally, it would be in the direct sunlight so you can see exactly where everything's at. But unfortunately, you kind of have to work with what you got. But we went ahead and pulled it back into the garage, and now we are ready to coat. Another thing as well, there was some water spots on the glass. And again, water spots was this client's main concern. I went ahead and utilized P&S Detail Products Clarity Cream and did just a couple quick passes on the windows real quick. Got those looking great, just to remove any of those water spots on there, and those are looking super good. Alrighty, and it is time to prep the car for a ceramic coating. Now you're gonna wanna wipe the car down with a prep solution. Now it is very important to make sure to follow the manufacturer's recommendations and prep the car with their dedicated prep solution. Now I went ahead and reached out to Armor Detail Supply to see if I can use CCI's prep coating. They said it's not a big deal, especially with phobic, as it is a very forgiving coating. Now again, we are utilizing CCI's surface prep here since I did have a bottle and kind of wanted to test it out. I'm not sure if I'm used to something that has a little bit more kind of alcohol solution in it. This does clean pretty well, it gets everything off, but I felt like I kind of had to buff it off with a secondary towel almost every single time. Now with most surface preps, I feel like they just evaporate away and they're good to go. With Armor Detail Supply surface prep, it immediately evaporates away. It's got a pleasant smell. This really doesn't have a smell to it, so I'm not sure if I would pick this up again. But the car is all prepped up and ready to be coated. For the ceramic coating of choice, again, we're going with the beautiful Armor Detail Supply Phobic. Now this has two different ways of applying. You can spray it on and get about a year of hydrophobic behavior, or you can apply it like a traditional ceramic coating and get about 2 years. Now this bottle was about halfway full and I had to use it up. Now this does have a shelf life when it's open. It's about 90 days from when it gets opened. And of course, it doesn't go bad in 90 days, but for the best user experience, you want to use it all within the 90 days once the seal is cracked. Alrighty, and now we are utilizing the Rag Company Ultra No Soak applicator here. Putting a little bit on our applicator, kind of loading that bad boy up just to get it kind of preloaded so we can get to coating. As you can see here, I went ahead and utilized a diagonal wet line and kind of applied it on my edges first. Now Bradley from Our Detail Supply, in their installation video, they recommend applying it and utilizing circular motions to kind of apply it down in there. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Utilizing those circular motions, I went ahead and applied it to about half the hood. Alrighty, and I kind of let that sweat on the surface there. My garage was about 55 degrees, so not super warm. So I was very careful and to make sure that there wasn't any high spots or anything like that. But I waited about a minute or so and grabbed my towels and went ahead and started leveling. For my towels today, I'm utilizing the Ultra Rip and Rag XLs by the Rag Company. These are honestly my perfect go-to towels for any ceramic coating, especially since you can just use them and kind of demote them down to oil change towels or really dirty job towels. And they're a pearl weave, so they're perfect for mopping up that ceramic coating. Now taking the coating off, I went ahead and used the same circular motions. And you can see here, there is quite a bit of kind of a haze going on, and that's exactly what you want to see. Showing the towel here, you can see quite a bit of the coating on the towel, and that's okay. Quite honestly, I probably did over apply, but I much rather over apply than under apply. Sweet, so I went ahead and flipped the towel over, kind of mopped up that residual of that haziness, and you can see the haziness is completely gone. Next, I went ahead and used my second towel as an insurance towel just to make sure everything is all good to go there. Checking my edges, checking everything, and man, this is so slick. You can instantly tell a difference just from that. And this is the fun part. Coating the car is super fun, but it can be stressful. So make sure to work in small sections, especially if you're not super confident when coating. I would highly recommend utilizing the 2-towel method just to make sure that you have an insurance towel so nothing doesn't high spot or have any weird things going on. But go ahead and repeat the entire process of the entire car. You can even use some of this on the trim as well. For some trim, it can just soak it up, but sometimes you can get lucky and it will restore the trim. Boom, you are all set to go. The car is paint corrected and protected for up to 2 years just with that coating. Now this is a super pivotal point. I would highly recommend keeping the car inside for about 24 hours just to make sure that the coating does have enough time to cure. Our Detail Supply does recommend at least waiting 4 hours for the initial cure time and then waiting 24 hours to introduce any chemicals or anything like that to the surface. Now you can go one step further and apply Amplify or ceramic spray sealant on top just to boost that if you'd like. But honestly, it is looking great, it's feeling great, and you can see the gloss has honestly enhanced. Now, we've got to do a couple quick touch-ups here. Personally, I do like to save the door jambs for last, especially when I'm doing any sort of polishing job, since sometimes you can get a little bit of compound or any compound dust in the door jambs. But we went ahead and utilized a little bit of Our Detail Supply Adapt. Adapt is their waterless wash that does have a little bit of protection in there. Sprayed down those door jambs, kind of wiped it up, and everything is looking good. Plus they have a quick little layer of SiO2 on them so they don't get as dirty for next time. And finally, like I was saying a little bit earlier in the video, unfortunately this trim was super thirsty and Phobic was not enough to fix it. And that's totally okay. That's where we have Trim Plus to jump in and save the day. Trim Plus does have a dye in it that is going to dye those plastics while protecting them up for a few years. You can see here, this back plastic part was super faded, so we went ahead and utilized some Trim Plus to get it all restored, looking phenomenal. Went ahead and took, again, an Ultra Rip and Rag there and just leveled it out, made sure we had all that excess kind of wiped up so there wasn't any on the paint, and it's looking really good. Now, since we coated over the license plate area there, we've got to, of course, put on the license plate. Now, that is one of my biggest pet peeves is when people don't take off the license plates to correct under. Same thing with coating under the license plate. That is still the paint. So we went ahead and of course installed the license plate on there, and it is looking really good. Full transparency, those last couple parts I went ahead and did this morning. So you can call me a liar for doing it all in one day, but I did go ahead and let the car sit in the garage overnight before I did those last couple parts. So you got me, unfortunately. But other than that, guys, if you did enjoy the video, I would really appreciate a like. If you are interested in any of the products that we talked about in the video, make sure to check them out with my links down below. They are affiliate links and I do get a small commission, and all of that kickback does go directly into the channel here to help improve videos and helps with video ideas. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like the video down below, subscribe down below for brand new videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.